The point is, I joke about racism, because racism is a fucking joke.
Savage.
Solomon.
He is Mr. Solomon.
You know something? At least he's honest.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He's a goddamn weapon.
Can you hear me in the back?
Black men.
Sincere.
I'm so sincere.
S-I-N-E-C-E-R-E. Sincere.
I mean, the problem is really with the people you cover. Politicians, the celebrities.
Nobody does it better. The cream of the crop.
Welcome to Thought Crumbs, everyone. This is your girl, Sincere.
Prince Solomon back in the building. Of course, this podcast is brought to you in part by No Fear. Having no fear in your blood allows you to conquer the world.
Absolutely. Man, you gotta have no fear.
Yes. Yeah, let's talk about that, Sam.
Yeah, let's talk about fuck the industry.
Fuck the whole industry.
Can I say something, baby, before we even get started?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. I told you, you're one of the most fearless people I have ever met in my life.
I try. And
You
I
don't
appreciate
just try. You're not an Akon.
I try so hard.
You're not I Try So Hard.
I tried so hard.
That was a hot single by Bone Thugs and Akon, right?
It ain't my fault, cause
I was like, oh shit, they still got it in them.
They did. That was a nice joint by Akon and Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Strength and Loyalty, dope album. But yeah, so my thing is this for you personally. Like, I want to get inside your mind. You as someone doesn't flint. What is it in you personally that you have been able to remain calm in those situations, especially when it comes to going out and accomplish? Because we're talking about fuck the industry, and a lot of these people, they get fearful of people in the industry and certain power holders. What about you?
Well, I think that a lot of people actually contradict themselves. They put the batteries within their own backs and in other people's back to start confrontation with people in the industry when it's not needed. Now, when you say fuck the industry, of course, you should always create your own industry if you can, your own vacuum of power, building up your own community. But at the same time, you can't be just putting a battery in your back just cause. I personally feel someone has to actually have done something to you. So when somebody's blackballed because of their opinion on various issues, or something personal took place and they be like, fuck that person or fuck that industry, or for example, what those two white dudes did after Zuckerberg stole, Facebook from them. They went on into cryptocurrency and became billionaires. Like, that's cool. That's what you do. I get tired of people who, again, are doing that for silly reasons, like for jokes, or they're trying to put you a battery in someone else's back because they're in competition, like just weak stuff. And I do think it need to be a two-part conversation, because you don't have to be fuck the industry on everything. It should really depend on what it is, and also what is taking place, and also if you're being targeted for whatever reason, that gives it some legitimacy. But the fearless part comes in it, I think, for both of us, is the fact that you're gonna have to make it work no matter what. It's like the Nice track with Jay-Z and Beyonce. You have to have no fear. I mean, that's one of the things I like about Beyonce, even when she decided to commit to going to Coachella and having that concert. Even though she was pregnant, she had twins, she had to cancel the first time around. She had high blood pressure. So many dangerous things happened to her during that pregnancy that she actually could have died. And you saw within that moment how quick she snapped herself back in to shape, to commit to a diet, to lose weight. And for people to understand, that's a temporary diet. Of course, Beyonce eats healthy, so certain things will be coming back on her itinerary when it comes to food. But to lose that amount of weight that quickly and to be prepared, she had to do one of those types of diets. But the whole point, just to wrap it up and to sum it up, is when you look at these people in their fields and they show fearlessness, whether it's Beyonce or even Jay-Z to a degree, or Nipsey Hussle, what he was able to do, or even the guys, again, that went against Zuckerberg and went and found another avenue. Like, those are the things that I like.
Yeah, because, like, the reason why I bring all of that up, because, and I was asking you, topping off of everything of this, wonderful podcast, you and I got together and, you made a jump and I made a jump, right? And to be in love is like to circumvent fear altogether. It is like you step out and say, this is what it is. But when we look at somebody like you brought up with Beyonce, complete fearless, even, her husband, he has a fearlessness about him, right? In fact, there was a guy I was listening to, he's an entrepreneur, he hosts another podcast, but he was always talking about when he started his show out where he had to interview multimillionaires and even billionaires, he was terrified. But he said he used to listen to Jay-Z for like an hour before he got started, right? Same thing with Michael Strahan and things like that. But these are people who have conquered within the industry. But anyway, if people actually kind of look at it, since we're talking about quote unquote fuck the industry, Jay-Z and Dame Dash had to circumvent the industry in a different way, right? Because they weren't given those deals right away. They actually had to force themselves to be the outliers of the industry and end up changing the industry because they were fearless, right? Same thing with Beyonce. Like, she's done something in this space that we haven't seen at this level before. But when you go back, let's walk it back, moonwalk on back to what you were saying about people who don't know what they're doing. They're contradicting themselves. Now, look, you're going to have sensitive people in this industry, period. There's people that's like, I didn't like that last joke. I got off the phone with a partner of mine and I was telling them that, as we move forward and we understand the type of humor that we have, there are going to be some people that they hear us and they're like, yo, I really like them. And then there's going to be some people, as soon as they hear our names, and fuck them, right? But we accept that though, right? We're not bullshitting. We accept that. But there are people who say, fuck the industry. But then they're really saying that because they're embittered. They're bitter that it didn't pop for them as fast as they thought it should have, or it didn't go the way they thought. But it's not about expecting what other people are going to do for you. You still got to do what you got to do regardless. And eventually the universe, it does break. It does feel painful at the time, but the universe does break. You keep putting in hard work and something somewhere, a break, an opportunity happens. And because if you set up a series of actions, that's going to be your moment. But I just feel like you can't say fuck the industry and you're bitter about something. Cause like you think about some of the black folk that came out of slavery moving into Reconstructionism and everything like that, right? A lot of them kept going. Regardless, right? What are you upset about things? Yeah, but the thing is, you don't stop. A lot of these embittered people, they stop and then they say, fuck the industry, but they don't really mean that. They're really saying, I'm hurt by all of the stuff that I feel didn't take place.
Well, yeah, I think it's based off of also background too. Like, I'm more prone to be inspired by people who didn't give up, who didn't quit. Of course, I'm not arrogant. I don't think anyone should be like downplay DMX because he fell victim to certain aspects of the industry, but also victim of his past, being molested and drug use and different things like that. But I'm more prone to enjoy those who have a tenacity in them. And then I too sometimes try to be fair because most of those people that do have that type of tenacity, they did have somebody with a strong backbone in their life. For Jay-Z, that would be his mom. For Beyonce, that would be her parents. Her father is very problematic, but he had enough of a backbone to help her career. And then also I'm forgetting the